I'm Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry has been in Nome all weekend where she's following the impacts of what was former Typhoon Halong. Melissa, you've come across many stories of surviving flooding, homes floating down the river, and high winds.
Yeah, it's just been incredible, Kristen, to hear the stories coming in from places like Kipnuk and Quigilingok and all of the surrounding villages. It has just been incredible, not only what they have endured and survived, but how they have done it, really taking care of each other, checking in on each other, and doing it with such patience and grace, waiting for those resources and help to come. Now, I spoke with several families in those villages where homes were lifted off from their foundations and floated downriver. Here's a look at when it all started. Extreme wind. And water where it shouldn't be. From Bethel to Kipnuk and everywhere in between as the former Typhoon Halong tears a path across the Bering Sea.
I put on my sandals and I noticed there's water on the floor and I called my sister right away.
Tamura Paul woke up to water on the floor of her home and soon realized she and her daughters were in trouble.
We are kind of far from the river and the flood usually doesn't hit us.
I was able to reach her by phone as her home wasn't just flooding, but floating downriver.
I was sleeping during the storm and I woke up to messages from my sister. She just said that my house was floating away.
Sending pleas for help on social media as the house rocked.
Do you know how it sounds to be on a boat?
Yeah.
In waves?
Yeah.
Sounds like that.
Oh my goodness.
She reminds her girls they are going to be okay, but need help to come soon as they suspect they are now miles from home.
We're good, we're scared, but we're good. I keep telling them we're breathing. We're still breathing, we're alive.
And just to the north, the village of Chifornik, also flooding. You can see the water tearing through the village, taking anything with it as the high winds continue. From the coast to the river, even further inland, buildings couldn't hold up to the wind. That was a window shattered by flying debris at David Miller's home in a village just north of Bethel. He said he also lost his shed and likely more. But the concern from families who can't reach their loved ones is everyone accounted for. The National Guard is actively doing search and rescue operations now to make sure.
We're just actively in a response phase. We're search and rescue, life, health, safety, making sure that people are getting out of those situations, and we're doing everything we can to support them.
In Nome, as the winds increase, operation specialists with the state are responding to needs here, while also concerned about those to the south.
Our hearts go out to everyone affected. This is a really scary moment for a lot of people. There's so much at play, so much damage.
Lucio says first, be safe. Call 911 if you need help. But if you can, also document the damage.
If you do have damages to your home, please capture that in photographs, collect all important documentation. That's especially important in the recovery phase that comes after this.
It's been a tough day for these Alaskans, and the extent of the damage is still not fully known as the storm continues its path, now across the Seward Peninsula. Melissa Fry, Alaska's news source.
Now, Melissa, what are you hearing are the biggest
And I did
needs
just
today?
hear, yeah, Kristen, I did just hear from a friend of a friend there in Kipnuk that did hear that she was rescued, the family was rescued there that we just heard from, and that they are in a safe place, although Kipnuk and Quigilingok still without power, many of them without communication. So they're hoping power is restored. There are hundreds of people in these villages that are held up in their schools because many of the schools do have generator power and heat, so that is where they are staying for now, hoping to just get out and assess the damage and see what it's going to take for them to get back home.
And Melissa, were there any impacts there in Nome?
Well, we had the high winds. I mean, here yesterday, we couldn't even stand up hardly down on Front Street. You can see how beautiful it is. What a difference a day makes. Looking down the coastline here, you can see businesses on Front Street and homes. They are still boarded up. They did take a lot of precautions here in Nome to be ready for the storm because, of course, they went through Mirbach 3 years ago. And the ocean, what a contrast. Yesterday, there were whitecaps as far as you could see, massive waves crashing on the beach here in Nome. But now it's just a calm sea and a beautiful day in Nome. So again, communities continuing to get the help they need today, and we will hopefully hear more stories of not only survival but thriving as the days come.
All right, thanks, Melissa. Let's get back to that unbelievable moment caught on camera from Kipnuk, where a shipping container carried by the high floodwaters and strong winds knocks into a home. This video shows some of what people were fighting against as the storm pummels villages and towns. According to data from NOAA, this is record-breaking flooding by more than a foot. The Department of Public Safety says at least 8 homes in that area were pushed from their foundations. Meantime, Quigillingok saw record flooding there as well as the tide gauge topped out at 16.69 feet, according to official NWS observations. Officials say that 3 people are still unaccounted for there, and others may be unaccounted for in Kipnuk. State troopers say at least 51 people and 2 dogs were rescued in Quigillingok and Kipnuk combined. The Department of Public Safety says it's continuing to work with local officials to verify and confirm the count of those who are still missing. Troopers say aerial assets were deployed at first light today. Adelmi Ruiz joins us now with how the Department of Environmental Conservation and the Department of Transportation are responding to the devastation. Adelmi.
With storms like this, safety concerns continue even after the water subsides. The Alaska Department of Environmental Conservation says systems like wells and wastewater treatment plants can be negatively impacted. Also, fuel systems in homes can be damaged and leak into the environment. For example, heating oil tanks can come loose from their structures and float away or tip over. The DEC is ready to go into the field once the State Emergency Operations Center calls.
And this is going to include helping communities assess their drinking water and wastewater systems. We'll be helping out with any spills or contamination and supporting, safe cleanup and recovery operations.
Meantime, the Alaska Department of Transportation is also working to keep up with storm damage across the western portion of the state.
The Bethel Airport took a lot of high wind, a lot of debris on the runway. So our airport maintenance people are clearing that runway.
Crews in Bethel were hard at work Sunday following hours of sustained wind speeds and high water. While cleanup efforts are underway, it will be hours before the full extent of the damage will be known. As we all work to see what the scale of the damage will be, Shannon McCarthy with DOT says the people of Western Alaska will need continued support through this significant storm.
We're really part of just a larger statewide team. So DEC, state troopers, even U.S. Coast Guard, FEMA, those are all of us are working together. We are providing that support through the state's Emergency Operations Center, both with our partners and with our state partners and with our federal partners as well.
McCarthy says keeping runways clear is so important because our airports are our lifelines. And as always, we will continue to monitor the situation and bring you updates as they become available to us. Kristen.